This is Cyberpunk 2077 running on an Intel Core i9-13900K with 64 gigs of RAM and a 12 gig NVIDIA GeForce Titan X Pascal video card. So taking a look at our settings, we are using, well, first of all, we are outputting 1440p, and I am running on a 1440p monitor. And then we are using FSR 3.0 at the quality setting, which is the smallest amount of upscaling. And we are also using the AMD Framegen. And then I have all of the settings completely maxed out. So the Framegen and the FSR 3 are what's juicing us up to reasonably playable frame rates here. Now, there is some noticeable quality degradation. I'm not going to say there's not. I can see it. But I'm not going to say it's bad because it's not. This is absolutely a playable experience. Unless you're one of those people that the only thing that makes you happy is a 9800X 3D with a 4090 or better. I mean, I can't make you happy. But for the average person, I think the average person would be just fine with this. Now, I'm not sitting here saying go buy to either buy or not buy a Titan X Pascal. This isn't a card that I'm going to say either buy it or don't buy it. This is a lucky deal. So if you're working on a build like this, let's say you've got a fast processor and you just decide you want to do a little bit of gaming, you buy whatever deal is available. You know, if you find one of these, you might find one of these. These are old enough now that you might find one of these for $50. And I would argue that this experience, it's not a $1,000 GPU modern experience, but it's not a bad experience. This is absolutely decent, good-looking, playable video. So if you happen to see one of these when you're working on your build and you either don't have the money or don't want to spend, you know, $500, $600, $1,000 on a GPU, and you just see one of these for 20, 30, 40, 50, whatever dollars, or you're in an area where GPUs are less available and you say, huh, I wonder if I could use that. My answer is yes. Yes, you can. It's perfectly fine. And it's holding pretty consistent frame rate. That's the thing you'll find oftentimes with older GPUs like this on high performance CPUs. You'll find that they hold fairly consistent frame rate. Let's go kill those guys. These guys need to die. Oh, you're gonna paint on the wall? No graffiti here, buddy. That guy wasn't gonna get me anyway with his tire iron. Well, that's weird. Look, he had a gun and he didn't use it. What a dolt. Okay, so then let's take a look at one other thing. Oh, what was that? There must have been a bounty for them. Let's take a look at what happens if we turn off. Oh, that's interesting. Let's see what happens if we turn off that and only run FSR. No. And this is something I've told people before. Most people think I'm crazy when I say this. A higher end set of parts can get away sometimes with running at a lower frame rate. I think what this is related to is that supposedly you need fairly good frame rate to begin with to use the Framegen. I don't think that's really what it is. I think it has to do with just the overall set of components. A higher end set of components, I think you can get away with running frame gen at a lower initial frame rate on a higher set of components than on a lower set, all other things being equal. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but that's been my experience. So realistically, we need that higher frame rate. So we're gonna have to turn. Let's do that. You know, I wonder if, let's do this. Let's do high settings, frame gen. The actual visual difference between high and max really isn't that much. So I wonder, let's do this. Okay. That might be how I want to play it. Frame gen, in my experience, doesn't degrade the visual quality in the same way that upscaling does. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Generally speaking, if I had to choose at a playable frame rate, if I'm achieving a playable frame rate, if I have to choose between a frame gen technology and an upscaling technology, generally speaking, I will take the frame gen technology. That's my experience as to what you want. So let's go see though. We are gonna hit, I'm gonna guess downtown, we're gonna hit sub 60. So let's see if it actually stays smooth. Let's see here. So that's kind of our most demanding spot. So let's see if it stays smooth. Because based on what I'm seeing here, I think we're going to hit sub 60 in the city. So let's see if it stays smooth under those conditions. So I really like this. It's got a nice crisp look to it. That's something I don't know how to explain it. It's, I mean, fully anti-aliased. I don't know how to explain it. I like a crisp look to my graphics. Everybody has their own preferences on how they like stuff to look. So everybody will have a different opinion. There's going to be people that say, oh, I can see that. I can see the frame gen. It looks like garbage. And then there's going to be people like me that are going to say, I can't see that at all. I don't know what you're talking about. Because I do not see a degradation here. Again, I'm sure some of you can, but I can't. But I do think it looks better than it did with the upscaling. So high settings at high settings with the frame gen running versus max settings requiring, I mean, all things being equal, even at a lower, even having to run it at a lower setting level, I gotta say, you're gonna look better with only one, shall we say, juice up going on than two. It just is what it is. Like, it's gonna look better running either only frame gen or only, what's going on there, or only upscaling. At least I didn't kill him, so the police aren't after me. Okay, and I was wrong. we are not hitting. I thought we were going to hit somewhere in the 50, 55, maybe 50, but that maybe because we were starting at an initially higher frame rate that it was going to look better. But we're still substantially north of 60. I'm actually impressed. I'm going to be honest. I'm actually really impressed, and I'm really encouraged with this. I wish more games were as well optimized and took advantage of this graphics technology as this does. So many more games. I mean, of course they're not going to do it. It's not in the GPU manufacturer's interests to have these games set up so that you can use a GPU like this, that you can get this cheap to run this well. It's just not in their interest. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I mean, that looks good. That looks so good. For what we're doing here, I'm gonna bet that anything like 8700K or better is gonna deliver a pretty similar experience to this too. I'll have to test this with one of my 9900Ks, but I bet you it will. But anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed this kind of quick look at this GPU I picked up tonight. And I'm sure that this will eventually end up in a build and you'll see more of it there. But for now, this is what we got. Thanks for watching.